And a very good day to all my viewers out there. It is right now Sunday, January the 12th, 2020. It's 3:01 p.m. And for all you old truck lovers, here's a moving company and different variations of moving trucks here. And we're here in southwest Montreal, specifically Point St. Charles on Wellington Street. And I'll be doing a little walking video around here, turning left onto Butler Street shortly. And before I begin the actual walking video, I just wanted to say, I know yesterday there was this big freezing rain warning for Montreal. They were saying basically it would be a mini ice storm, and all we got, just like last time there was a freezing rain warning, was a bit of ice pellets and some wind. And of course there's a tree branch that fell, ironically. But yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting to wake up this morning and have tree branches down and a thick layer of ice. They were saying 2 centimeters of ice. And all we got were ice pellets. And ice pellets are basically these things here. I'll try to show you an example. They're these little, they're kind of like little, these are snowflakes, but right there you can see one. That's an ice pellet. There's another one right there. And they're basically little beads of ice that fall down from the sky, obviously. And you know, instead of, sometimes when they call for freezing rain, it ends up being ice pellets. And yeah, I think there's a little small variation in temperature is all it takes to determine whether it's freezing rain or ice pellets that falls. And you can see here, you know, a little bit of coating of freezing rain. We did get some freezing rain, but not as much as I was expecting. So I was hyping it all up. I was hyped up to do some nice, exciting, extreme weather videos today. But instead we got some ice pellets and a little bit of freezing rain and I guess some winds. And now we got some snow falling. So anyways, it is what it is. But back to the walking video here. So this company is a moving company in here. But I think this building used to be a factory of some sort at one point. I could be mistaken. And again, this is on Wellington Street. And we're going to be walking down here and turning left, and then we're going to go onto Butler Street. So I want to do a little walking video. Maybe we'll see some old buildings. There's some more moving trucks here. And yeah, it's definitely much colder than yesterday. And you know, we had some rain falling yesterday. It was, I think, +6, +7. And then the cold front moved in. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy we got some snow on the ground, or a little bit of snow and ice pellets. But we'll see what the next couple of weeks bring. And where I'm walking now is where I filmed a couple of thunderstorms over the years, because you have a good viewpoint of them coming from the west. And there's that big power pylon there, that metal power pylon. Sometimes you get lucky and there's a lightning strike there. And I usually come here to watch storms, or I used to go to St. Joseph's Oratory. There was a nice place there where there was a shelter, kind of like a balcony, but they demolished that. And there's the shelter that I go in. There's a bus shelter, and you know, I'm pretty safe in there from the lightning. But of course, there won't be any thunderstorms for a while, as we're in the middle of winter. And this street here is the Argenson, or Dargenson Street. Argenson, however you want to pronounce it. This is a train track bridge right here, and there's another one right here as well. Now, interestingly enough, this is a good place if you want to come rail fanning. You can see some good trains going by here. And this is Butler Street, where we're about to walk down. Now, there's something interesting about this bridge here. Let's take a look here. I want to show you this. So here you have a rail bridge. But look at this. There's an empty space right beside it. Look at this. You got the rail bridge here, but then there's this big empty space here. I'm wondering if at one point there was another train track that was here. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyways, and there of course is the highway leading to the Champlain Bridge, which, just like the bridge that has been rebuilt, so is a section of highway. So yeah, here we are on Butler Street. And you can see there's a very large electrical power line that runs parallel to the street. And I was interested in these power lines. So what I did is there's actually a website that it's called Open Street Map, I believe, and it shows you all the details of, you know, the city you're in compared to Google Maps. And one of the things it shows you is the actual routes for the power lines. And what I did is I was curious, where did these go? Where did they come from? And I don't know all the details, but from what I've seen on the maps, these lead to, of course, the South Shore. And from here, they lead all the way to Saint Laurent. And from there, they go all the way up north. And there's, of course, substations, and there's all kinds of substations where they branch off in different directions. But I'm curious to know if these power pylons, if all these wires were to suddenly get cut off for whatever reason, who exactly would be affected? And I'm always curious about those things because I like to know, you know, where these, what exactly these power lines power. Is it a certain part of Montreal? Is it somewhere in the South Shore, the North Shore? Anyways, but yeah, here's some old buildings here, some industrial buildings. Transcontinental equipment. And there you can see right there, this is a CN line. It says right there, CN Argenson, which was the street we were just on. And in there, it's actually a snow dump. So all the city trucks that come here, then they dump the snow into these big holes in the ground, which lead to the sewer system. And from there, it goes to the treatment plant. And of course, the other alternative to that is to dump it in these big snow sites. There's one in Ville-la-Salle, near Angrion Metro, where they basically bring the snow and they put in this big pile, and these heavy-duty snow blowers come in and blow it to the top of the hill. And that thing is there all year round because it's so large that even in the summer, there's still some snow left over. And we're coming up now to Reading Street. Rue Reading, which is spelt just like the verb, reading a book. But I think it's named after a city, I could be wrong. This blue building here is actually an ice factory. You may have seen these all around in gas stations, convenience stores. Arctic Glacier, or Glacier Arctic. This is an ice factory. So this is a factory that makes ice. And you know, maybe we'll take an alleyway because you sometimes see some ice machines in the back here. And this building here is, I believe, a meat facility. They freeze and store meat in here. It's called Lausanne, I believe. But anyway, this is where they load the ice, and sometimes you come here and you see big piles of ice on the ground that fell off the truck. But anyways, we'll take the alleyway here just for a second here on Reading. Yeah, there's a company. You may recognize the logo. I think they're the main ice producer in Montreal and the surrounding region. I don't know if they go all the way to Ontario or not, but I mean, they are pretty large here. Alright, so we'll take an alleyway. Yeah, there's a little path to walk through here, don't worry. And this is nice. This is like a little community garden they have here. I'm glad I came here. You get to see it. There's one of those rooftop things there. Sunlights that they recycled. I like what they did here. And yeah, we'll go here and we'll see if there's some ice machines that are up here. There's a laneway. No ice machines. Sometimes you come back here and you see there's like 2 or 3 ice machines, sometimes 4 or 5, all lined up. Not ice machines, but ice freezers, where they store the ice in the stores. I guess they also repair them here. That wall got a little bit of damage. Whoops, almost wiped out because of the little bit of ice we do have on the ground. Got to be careful here. And what street is this here? Is this Knox? I think this is Knox Street. What I'll do is I'll walk all the way to Wellington and then head into Verdun, my home borough, my home municipality, whatever you want to call it. I think this is Knox, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Knox, Knox. And you know, all these street names around here, like I said, a lot of them are named after cities in Ireland, England, because there is such a, I think there's a large Irish population that lived here at one point. Yes, and that is Highway 15. Also Highway 10, which we just saw before, Highway 10 and 15. They both share the same highway. And this is a Roselle Street. Oh no, Ryde, sorry, R-Y-D-E, Ryde. And the snow is coming down rather nicely. Very calm snowfall. And, you know, not bad for a Sunday afternoon. What they do a lot here, by the way, on this train track line is they store the flatbed train trailers, as you can see here. And when I turn on to Wellington in a minute, you'll see probably some more. This is Coleraine Street. At one time, this park was up for sale for land to build some condos, but thankfully they preserved the park, so nothing's going to get built there anytime soon. Don't see any old vehicles around, but we may see a couple here in this parking lot. The keyword is may. I guess not. Well, I was here last summer. They had this beautiful camper trailer. I think it's from the 50s or 60s. It was a Gulfstream or something it was called. This fence is old and seen better days. And this here is Roselle Street, R-O-Z-E-L. I hear a snow plow. Oh yeah, street plow. Oh, better move out the way here fast. Alrighty. There's Roselle. And the next street is Rushbrook. I like that blue, by the way, right there. That blue car. There's another old building. Commercial building. Yeah, so we are coming up to Wellington Street, which when we turn up here, we're going to turn right. By the way, I should be mentioning that we're walking right now in the south direction. I usually give you the orientation when I do my walking videos. So we're walking south, and when we turn right here, we're going to be walking west into Verdun. And I think this train track here separates Verdun from Point St. Charles, or at least the highway or the train track, one of the two. Here is Rushbrook. There's that snowplow again, doing the rounds. Now, like I said, it's not so much snow, it's ice pellets today, which It's interesting to see how they accumulated. And then you have the snowflakes now falling on top of them. Alrighty, so we are coming up now to Wellington. Another laneway here. I think this is a bar here, a pub. And we'll cross over here carefully. Another look down Butler Street, where we came from. And yeah, now we'll do a bit of Wellington Street here. Yeah, I definitely think there was a second train line that was here. And if you keep going this way, if you keep going around here at the train tracks, you eventually get to the Via Rail Maintenance Center. And here is the Owens, Illinois glass factory. So if you know where I was recording a couple of videos ago, you know where I am. I'm just west of where I was doing a video the other week, down there. Alright, so let's go into Verdun. Maybe we'll get a nice view here of that snow dump place. There's a little interesting fact, by the way. Where we're walking right now, right underneath, there's a major sewer line. It's a collector, it's called. And if you remember in Montreal, there was a big scandal the other year where they were dumping the sewage into the St. Lawrence River because they had to do some repairs. And by the way, there's those trains again. So anyway, they had to do some repairs on this big sewage line. And in order to do the repairs, they had to, instead of, leading the sewage to a treatment plant, ended up putting the sewage into the river. So they had to bypass the sewage line, the part that was being fixed, because otherwise the sewage would just go out in the middle of the ground. So they ended up dumping the sewage into the St. Lawrence. It was called Sewergate, actually. That was the name of the scandal. And where I am right now is actually where that sewer line is, one of the sewer lines that leads to the river. I actually did a video on it when it happened. And yeah, that's where we're walking right above one of those sewer collectors that goes right into the St. Lawrence. Just a little interesting tidbit there, a little factoid. Yeah, so we're here in Verdun, and yours truly is going to cut the video here because my battery's getting low. But as always, thank you all for watching. More videos to come. Have a good day, everybody.